Here, co-creator of NextLevelGuitar.com. Hope all is going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journeys are going famously. I've been getting some email questions lately on just some, how to do some simple, fun blues licks, but maybe try to make your blues playing sound a little bit different, not so stock. We're going to do some things to kind of spice up, kind of jazz up, kind of do some different things within the blues context, and I think you're going to be able to apply some of these devices and concepts to all your playing. And this is the kind of conceptual thing that will work over, other genres of music. If you're more of a rock player, or if you're more of a jazz or country or metal guy, the same concepts, but this is we're going to do more in a blues format. I like to go over the gear and how I get the sounds for each lesson too. So at the end of the lesson, I'm going to go over all the gear I'm using. It's not much, but it's a great, simple method that you could use very easily to get a killer blues tone, and I'll go over that at the end of the video. If you could take a second, please subscribe to the channel. That really helps us to keep bringing the content, right? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Please tell us what lessons you'd like to see coming up, or let us know how you like this lesson, if you want to see more of these kind of things, or what gear you'd like to see reviewed, right? And if you like the video, please click the like button, give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much for your support. So I'm playing over a jam track today. It's in the key of B minor. Right? It is a minor key blues, and a big part of this lesson is I'm kind of tailoring my playing over the chord changes. I'm kind of changing what I'm doing over each chord, treating each chord as a separate event as opposed to playing the same scale over everything or what relates to all, right? It's a little different technique, not necessarily better or worse, but just different, and this is going to help get you some different sounds. So it's so important no matter what you're playing over, always know the chords, as that gives you the full roadmap to the guitar soloing opportunities and improvisation avenues, right? So the chords are B minor 7 to an E minor 7, right? 1 minor to 4 minor, and then it goes up to a G major, to an F sharp major, half step down, right? And then back to that one chord, the B minor 7, and then the turnaround is on F sharp 7 sharp 9. Is over that B minor chord, we're playing something that relates to that B minor 7th chord, and then when it switches to that E minor 7th, we switch what we're doing to something that relates to that chord, and so on and so forth. When we go to the G, we play something that relates to the G, something relates to the F sharp. So breaking it up, treating each chord as a separate event. That's digging deeper than just playing over what relates to all. So one of the scales we'll use at first is just basically your basic B minor pentatonic and blues scale off of that low E string root at the 7th fret, this guy. And we'll use that scale to craft some basic blues licks. I started that off playing just some simple blues licks with lots of space. Remember, you want to leave lots of space in your playing, right? Okay, something there to think about is I'm bending to the blue note, holding it, vibrato, and I'm playing with a double stop with vibrato, with that first finger. The other thing I'm doing is bending that G string, flat third to major third bend. Right? So very simple blues devices there, but here's where it starts to sound different. Then the chord changes to that E minor 7. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to switch to something in the key of E minor, and I play something like this. Right? It adds in notes of the E natural minor scale, and I play an E minor 7 arpeggio. So let me show you that. The first lick I do is just a simple pull-off lick, where I'm doing this inside picking thing, upstroke on the B string, downstroke on the high E, but then I pull off from that 10th to 7th fret. Then I play this. I'm playing basically an E minor 7 arpeggio descending. And I throw in that 9th, which is a really nice note. Okay, so practice that, but that's going to sound great over that E minor chord, right? So think of it like you're treating that chord just as a separate event. So here's the lick so far. Then what I do is I ascend the arpeggio. Now when I get to the G string, I play the G string 7, B string 7th fret, 8th fret B string, 7th fret, and then I slide back, adding that slide to the root note, or E, at the 5th fret. And that sounds really nice over that E minor chord. So here's that whole lick slow. Right? So you kind of get a little jazzy touch in with the bluesy thing, right? Again, adding interest. And it's so important to, you know, put these concepts in a musical situation, right? Practicing them in a musical context. So if you want me to send you some jam tracks so you could do that, I have a great little practice tool for you. I'll send you 6 killer sounding jam tracks. But the thing is, I call it my jam track coach, but I've paired them with 2 ebooks where I not just, you don't just get the jam track, because what good is that on itself? I give you a written lesson with each track, and it explains, okay, here are the chords, what do you want to try over it, some suggestions, why they work, and then in the scales ebook, I diagram out all the scales, right? Killer sounding tracks, you could really use it as a killer practice tool and really hone your lead skills to a sharp edge. Jam tracks are invaluable, right? Click on that link below, I'll send it to you for free. The chord now at that point is going to change back to the 1, the B minor. So what I do is I slide up to the F sharp note, right? Because that F sharp in the key of B minor is the 5th, very strong landing note. So, and then I'm still on the B, I slide from that F sharp, which is at the 7th fret, to my root note B at the 12th fret. Right, I hit them a couple times each. Strong notes in that B minor chord, and then I play a little B minor triad because I'm still on that B minor chord, right? And that's 14th fret high E, 15th fret B, 16th fret G. It's a nice little B minor triad. I kind of play 2 notes each, like, and I end it on that B. And then the chord changes quickly. These last 2 chords are pretty quick. G to F sharp. So what I did there was I'm thinking G chord, okay, so I slide to a G, and I just do a little half step behind it, trill, sending a little outside note, which is kind of cool. So I slide into that G, hammer, 11 to 12, then F sharp is next, I slide to the F sharp, and hammer, half step behind that. That F sharp is on the 11th fret G, so I'm hammering 10 to 11. Right? And then the chord changes back to the B minor again. So you just do another little blues note, and I end on that turnaround chord. So there's a lot chalked in there into that simple kind of blues playing, moving over each chord, adding some jazzy touches, right? I'm playing straight blues, B minor pentatonic and blues over the B minor chord. Then when it changes to the E minor, I do this E minor 7 arpeggio, adding the 9th, right? You could even say E minor 9 arpeggio. And then I end on that strong E note, and then it changes to the B. I go to a note that's strong in that B minor chord, that F sharp up to B, and then that really nice B minor triad, which I love. And then the chord changes again to the G, right? To the F sharp, and I'm playing over each of those with those trills, and it's back to B minor. So try it. Use jam tracks where there's lots of time on each chord, where you could really spend a lot of time on each chord, move your playing around, and try adding some different things, like I add an arpeggio or add natural minor scale if that would work over a given chord. Mixing it up from that stock kind of blues pentatonic thing. Certainly mix some of that in there, but this again will give you some different sounds and some different ways of thinking and trying stuff, adding some arpeggios, adding some triads. Have fun with it. I'm using a Fender Stratocaster guitar. This has been relicked by MJT or Mark Jenny. It has Texas Special pickups, and for this lesson, I'm mainly playing on the neck pickup, okay? Now, here's how a little trick how you can get a killer blues tone. Now, I'm playing through a Fender Hot Rod DeVille 212 amplifier, has 6L6 tubes in it, all tube amp, and I am using the clean channel. I'm running an overdrive pedal into the front of the amp. So what I have is, I have the guitar plugged into the input of a Friedman BEOD pedal. It's a really cool overdrive pedal, but you could use a tube screamer like a TS9 or a Boss Super Overdrive pedal, whatever you have, good sounding tube screamer or overdrive pedal. But I'm using a Friedman. And then the output of that is plugged into the input of the amp. I'm not in the effects loop, right? This is critical because what you want to do is you want to send your signal into that pedal, have that signal clipped, the gain, the distortion, and then it hits the front of the amp. So it's hitting that preamp section already clipping. And what that's going to do is it's going to drive your amp a little harder. It's going to push it a little bit, and that's what's going to give it that really cool kind of bluesy tone. The other trick is setting up the pedal. And what you want to do is, I have the gain turned way down. The gain is like just cracked a quarter. And then, but the level is up, or the volume, you want to have that way up. And that's the trick, because that's really going to slam that amp hard and give you a really good sound at a low volume. Here's the clean channel. Right? But now listen when I kick in the pedal. Click on that link below. I'll send you 6 killer jam tracks so you can practice and apply these in different keys and kind of different tempos. And also, please remember to subscribe to the channel. That really helps us to keep bringing the content. Please leave a comment below. Let us know how you like this lesson, what lessons you'd like to see coming up. If you like the video, click the like button, share it, right? Give it a thumbs up. We thank you so much for your support over the years. Give yourself plenty of fun time on that guitar. And remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. I'll see you in the next lesson.